Welcome back to Rambling Hoops, everybody. It's episode 6, I believe, or video 6. I'm just going to start calling them episodes now. Today is the 13th of March. I'm going to be honest, it's going to probably be a much shorter video today. I really did not get to watch a lot of basketball. And the basketball that I did, I'll just talk about, because there's no point in talking about like other games that I haven't seen. I will be talking about like clips that I've seen, or like I might reference like clips here and there that I saw. But like don't like take that as a, like I watched the whole game and I know everything about everything. So I wanted to try this new segment called Ramblin News, mainly dealing with off the court basketball stuff, but also like some on court stuff. Like Steven Adams and Mason Plumlee got into a fight last night or the other day. I think it was last night. And I thought that was really funny. Speaking on that Suns, Kevin Durant. What is Kevin Durant's future, everybody? Apparently, he, at his age, is still going, or will be going, for at least 3 first-rounders in a young player, is apparently what people are saying. What like they would trade, or what people should be trading for Kevin Durant. I think that is kind of a lot to ask for. Kevin Durant is one of the best scorers in the league. He's one of the best scorers all time, if not the best scorer. So, like, you know what you're going to get from Kevin Durant. The only problem is he is on the back half of 30. So, like, how long is his production going to last? I really don't know. So I don't know if teams are really willing to do 3 in a player. But I don't know. I'm an amateur. So there was a couple teams that looked at him, or that are looking at him. The 2 teams that I know for sure are the Grizzlies and the Rockets, or at least they were looking at him. I don't really know what would go on for that Grizzlies trade. Maybe Jalen Wells. Maybe they might trade away Zach Edey. But the Rockets, I could see getting rid of or trading Jabari or Jalen Green. Jalen Green to me makes the most sense, because he's going to definitely be the one to demand and command the ball a lot, besides Sengun. If I were the Rockets, I'd much rather get rid of Jalen Green just because of his inconsistency struggles. But that definitely weakens the guard position for the for the Rockets. You have Fred VanVleet, who's 31. Like, I don't really know. I think it would probably have to be Jabari, just because you're getting another forward with Kevin Durant. But I really don't know. Maybe Cam Whitmore instead of Jabari, and move KD to the small forward position. I don't know how that would work. Maybe you could. I don't know how Jalen Green would feel about coming off the bench, but you could probably do a Men and Fred as your backcourt. I don't know. I'm not a GM, guys. Taylor Rooks recently interviewed Chris Paul, and at some point they talked about the All-Star game. And if you don't know, Chris Paul was teamed up with Wemby in the All-Star Skills Challenge. And they caused some drama, some flare up, maybe you'd want to say. They basically just didn't shoot the ball. They just like threw the ball off the rack because they were trying to go for just strictly time. Like, but they were disqualified and said it was against the rules. However, Chris Paul says it was a different story in his interview with Taylor Rooks, saying that he was given the okay to do this. Now, I know with Taylor Rooks interviews, guys kind of just say whatever. You have the Jaylen Brown thing. There was something else. Was it Anthony Edwards? It might have been someone else. I don't want to say anything more. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the only thing like that makes me like believe Chris Paul is like, if I was to choose like anyone or like a couple people who would like know the rule book, it would be Chris Paul. So I don't really know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I guess we won't know. And then the last news for today is the Mikal Bridges buzzer beater over Donovan Clingan last night. That was crazy. That's all I have to say. If you didn't see it, it was actually a pretty nice shot. Mikal Bridges inbounded the ball to Josh Hart. Josh Hart brought the ball up. They were at the top of the key. Josh Hart brought the ball up over to Mikal. They did a little DHO screen, I believe. So Mikal got the switch because Clingan was dropped back, giving Mikal a pretty good distance to take that shot, and hit it over Clingan and won the game. I'm honestly really surprised that game went into OT because of how bad of a game Anthony Simons had. But Scoot did all he could. Shout out to Scoot, man. Really had he's been kind of up and down recently again, but had a 30 ball last night. Shout out to Scoot, man. I also wanted to do another thing where I shout out anybody who has had 40 points or more throughout the week. That being from Thursday to Wednesday is so like last Thursday to the Wednesday that just passed yesterday. That is like the schedule of games that I watch, that I keep tabs of and write notes about. So on the 6th, we had two 40-point games. Curry had 44 and 4 on 7 of 13 from 3 shooting against the Nets, which was a very close game. Shout out Steph for having that. He's been killing it as of late with Jimmy Butler. And then Kobe White had 44 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals on 7 of 15 from shooting from who I believe it was the Magic. He scored 44 against the Magic. Shout out Kobe White. He's been killing it over in Chicago, along with another player who we'll talk about later. The next day, Miles Bridges kind of went on a tear against the Cavs. But I think that's because the Cavs kind of shut down LaMelo. Yeah, the Cavs shut LaMelo down, I guess, in a sense. 46 and 8 rebounds. Shout out Miles Bridges. Shout out Miles Bridges as a basketball player. The next day, Jason Tatum. 40 against the Lakers. But not just 40. 40 points. 12 rebounds. 8 assists. And 3 stocks. That is probably the best 40-point game of like this stretch of games. Lastly, the final 40-point or more game Sunday on the first part of a back-to-back against the Nuggets. Shea had 40, 8, and 5 with 3 blocks. Another guard on the Thunder that can block the ball really well is Cason Wallace. Shout out Cason, man. Love the work that he's been putting in, especially for a second-year player. He has been killing it for what they need him to do. I love that. So the games that I ended up watching were the Nuggets Thunder, Thunder Celtics, Pacers Bucks, but I literally just saw those last 3 minutes. I saw Wolves Nuggets. So not a whole lot of games to talk about. I'm terribly sorry for the casualness of this week. I will do better. So Nuggets Thunder, they had a back-to-back. So basically it's like 2 games in one. So Shea had a 40 ball in the first game, and then I think he scored 31 in the next, or I think it was like 20. No, sorry. No, he did not score 31. He scored 25, I believe. Yeah, 25. Lou Dort came out on that second half of the back-to-back and balled out. Sucks that we could not get the win. He shot 8 of 14 from 3. The second game takeaways that I have for that back-to-back, at least for the Thunder, is just like those guys, the Nuggets were really hitting shots. I mean, they shot 56% from 3 and 60 from the field. Like that's really hard to stop. Even if the team of the Thunder themselves are also going to shoot 40. JDub did go out of this game with, I believe, an ankle sprain or hip. Sorry. Okay. It's his hip, not an ankle sprain. But he doesn't have a current timetable to return, which kind of scares me. I think the one letdown this season for the Thunder has been injuries. I mean, the injuries have not, like, it hasn't done a lot to the Thunder's record, but it kind of has. I don't know if we would have more wins if we were fully healthy, but the team would definitely be gaining a lot more respect than they have been. I mean, the Nuggets were just, but like I said, the Nuggets were just on fire. Jokic, 35, 18, and 8. I don't even know how someone does that. I mean, obviously he had that 30-20-20 game the other day, which was nuts. I really wish I watched that. And then I've been noticing Jalen Pickett, number 24. Was he drafted? Okay, he was a second round pick last year. I haven't seen a lot from him, but I kind of like the game he gives them. So just guys, let's keep an eye on Jalen Pickett, and let's pick it up later. And then on to that Pacers Bucks. I mean, the only thing I really have about that game is I'm pretty sure that was that a close game all the way? I think it was. Like the Bucks I think what it was the Bucks. Yeah, the Pacers were like down. The Bucks were up by like a good portion. 8. I think it was 8 points is like their highest, at least in the fourth quarter. That was their highest lead they had. Yeah, 10 points. 10 points in the third quarter or fourth quarter. That was their biggest lead. And then Hallie happened. And holy fuck. That Tyrese Halliburton shot was nuts. Oh my gosh. I saw him shoot that, and I was like sitting there and I was like, oh, like that'd be like, oh, watch him hit this, like thinking like whatever. And then I saw him hit it, and I was like, oh shit. And then I heard the whistle, and I was like, oh, so the Pacers just won this game. They lined up in like a football formation on the other side of half court, so that it would be harder for the Bucks to foul them because they were up they were up 3, which is really, gosh, that sucks, man. And Darvin Ham on the sideline. Oh, I'll throw the picture up. Darvin Ham on the sideline killed me. Because Tyrese Halliburton was doing like the Family Guy Peter Griffin shot, and Darvin Ham is sitting there with his hands in his pockets. I don't even think he was looking at Halliburton. I think he was like looking like away from the play. And then Giannis elects to take the last shot, and not even take the last shot, take a 3. Giannis is 6'11", a freak of nature. He is literally known as the Greek freak. I am almost 100% positive and believe that he could have taken at least an extra dribble to get like a crazy floater, or maybe just a really far away layup, or just a decent mid-range shot. He has been shooting the middies really well this season, or has at least developed a mid-range game over the last few seasons, and I love that from him. But yeah, man, I think my big takeaway is just I think Giannis could have gotten a better shot, but like shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's the regular season. It's one regular season game. The Bucks will move past that. On to the Thunder Celtics now. Shea had 36 on 15 of 32. Sorry, 34. 34 and 11 of 20. Don't know where I was pulling those numbers from. Okay, he's a free throw merchant, whatever. Shea, 34, 5 and 7 with 1 steal. The Celtics were definitely making him turn the ball over a lot. Derek White and Drew Holiday, I thought, did a very good job of defending Shea, especially when it comes to blitzing him, because he's a good passer. He's just not a crazy good passer. So that it's definitely something you want to do against Shea, because there was 1 or 2 times where he dribbled it off, like tried to like bring the ball around like the back, and it hit off of his leg, and at one point went out of bounds. The Celtics took 22 threes in the first quarter. I don't really see how that's necessary. I know they're a big 3-point shooting team, but I don't think they needed to do that. The fact that the Thunder were able to win this game, especially without JDub, Chet stepped up really big. 23, 15 in a block. Shot 3 of 6 from 3. I mean, you really can't ask for a whole lot from him. Hartenstein came off the bench. Only 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 11 points. I love Hartenstein as a passer. I love that. I love when big men can pass. That Shea shot at half 2 was kind of crazy, where I don't know if Drew Holiday fouled him, tried to rip the ball, but it was a nut shot from Shea. Like I said, Chet was really stepping up. Derek White was cooking in the fourth quarter. I honest to God believed that like at some point it was going to be a tie game in the fourth near the end. Glad it wasn't. Finally, on to the last game before I shout out my highlighted players of the week. Finally, I watched the Wolves Nuggets. Earlier, I think it was Thursday, I was looking at some box scores just to see how some players did. And I saw Anthony Edwards only took 10 shots against the Cavs. And I think as the team's primary guy, even if the defense is like kind of holding you, you need to get to your spots. I don't know if that's just me. Like, I see, like, if you're the 1A guy on the team, you should be taking more than 10 shots a game, even if that is like the defense really stuffing you. Anthony Edwards has gotten a lot better as a passer. I just recently saw the other day when he was getting interviewed, I think it was last night, they were asking him about his passing out of like a double team, and he said he was been watching a lot of Luka footage, film, a lot of Luka film, and that is kind of scary, guys, because if Anthony Edwards could become like a for real like mastermind of the game, he's already good at scoring and like playing basketball. Oh my goodness, that would be really scary. The Nuggets kind of just got waxed, but I know that's mainly because it was just Jokic. However, Russ was playing really well, at least the first 3.5 quarters. But you know, Russ is aging. He's not going to be able to do everything you need him to do. I don't know how I feel about this Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert 2-man game. Dude, they were struggling. Rudy would call for a lob, Randle wouldn't see it. Randle would get a really like good open lane and try to like throw it behind his back to Gobert, or not an open lane, but like he would try to like throw it back to Rudy Gobert. I really don't get it. Again, Randall has been out for a bit. Still needs to find his way into understanding the lineup or not the lineup, understanding like the offense and how the team rolls. But Dante DiVincenzo was playing fantastic defense. I just have a lot to talk about the Wolves because they won, so I saw like the winning plays that they made, and I wasn't really looking so much as the losing plays for the Nuggets. Other than like it literally just came down to like at times this Nuggets roster is like they just don't do anything. They don't play defense. Zeke Naji had some good plays here and there. Like I said, Russ stepped up actually, but at the same time, if 36-year-old Russell Westbrook is stepping up over 26-year-old Jamal Murray, like that's a bit of a problem. It's a very big problem. Jamal Murray was going to be one of my highlighted players of the week or of the span. And after last night's game, no, I had to take him off. Not anything against him. It's just like he was having so many good performances up until that game, and I guess I can't really hate on him for that. But at the same time, like the Nuggets are a better team than the Timberwolves. Is that single-handedly because of Jokic? A good amount of that is. But Jamal Murray was a big reason they won a chip last year. Or not last year, the year before that. I mean, he was hitting shots left and right that, like, no one could stop. LeBron gave him a thumbs up, dude. Sorry. Or was that last year? I can't remember. But Jamal Murray was tearing it up. And for him to just Jimmy Butler it, I guess. I guess he was trying. He just kind of got locked up. That is a really good defensive team in the Wolves, and the Nuggets don't have any defense, so I guess it is a one-sided matchup. However, in a series, I think I will take the Nuggets, just because of Nikola Jokic. All right, finally, on to my highlighted players. First guy, like I said, on the Bulls, Josh Giddey. Guys, 23, 10, and 8. Shooting 50% since the start of March. March 2nd was the first game he played, and since then, he's been averaging 23, 10.5, and 8. I think 10.5 assists. Rebounds, 10.5 rebounds. 10.5 rebounds, 8 assists, shooting 50% from the field. If you don't know, Josh Giddey was not shooting great from 3. However, right here in his last 10, he's been shooting 52. I feel a little weird putting another nugget on here. I have Russ, who has been putting up some very solid numbers. He's been averaging in, I think it was the last 5 games, he's averaging 14.2, 5.4, and 5 with 1 block as well. And he's shooting over 40 from 3. How long is that 40% going to last? Probably not long, but you got 40% from 3 from Russ's last 5 games. Can't be mad at that. I mean, again, 14, 5, 5 with 1 block. He is doing a lot for them and for his age. Shout out, Russ. Man. Lastly, Ja Morant, dude. 28 points per game. Over his last, I think it's over his last 5. Golly, man. Golly, 28 and almost 8 assists, bro. Golly. Shooting from 3, though, however, he is shooting not good. Not good from 3 at all over those last 5, but he's got 4 wins. They only lost to the Thunder in those last 5. He has been killing it for them. He's been killing it for them in their last 5. Shout out Ja Morant. That is it for today for Rambling Hoops. If you liked the video, please subscribe and like. I come out with videos every Thursday unless school gets in the way. So far it hasn't. It might. It probably will. That's all I have. Let's enjoy basketball for this next week. Until next time, guys. Deuces.